RJ. We beat Vegas. Let's go.
Yes, first ever win over the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, just what an effort from the Kraken, and another statement win. It's about time. I'm just down in chat a bit. Las Vegas Golden L. It feels
Let's
good. This
go.
this one really feels good.
Yeah, lots of, we did its grooves, everything. I mean, there's so much to talk about in this game. We had an awesome time with the Patreon live game commentary over there, where we are undefeated this year against Colorado and Vegas, everybody. So, if you want to be part of the magic, check out the Patreon link in the description below. But the Kraken were just so solid. There was just a brief, like, 10-minute window in which things were dicey and the Kraken were really struggling with some stuff. And we'll get to that later. But outside of that, the Kraken were just the better team for 50 of the 60 minutes tonight.
Yeah, they were, and just such an impressive effort for most of this game, and especially the third period. We'll get to that later, but how they shut down the Golden Knights for that final 20 minutes, it was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, for sure. Got some super chats down here. First one's from Craig. Gatorade's on me, boys. So Hackstall can coach. Having guys play in appropriate lines is important. More scores is good. One of Larson's top three. One of Larson's top three. Yeah, there's a lot, and thank you for the Gatorade. This is helping me get through the long set of time live. That was a big part of this win, was the Kraken's ability to make the appropriate adjustments, recognize, like, at the end of that first period, like, okay, we can't let Vegas play their game. We can't let them dictate the pace of play. We can't fall into this trap where it's back and forth hockey, because we're not built for that. They are. So how do we approach that? And it took them a little while to, trial and error at the start of the second period. But once they figured that out, RJ, I mean, one of the things we talked about through that third period was not only did the Golden Knights hardly get any shots off, they were playing dump and chase. I don't know that I've ever seen the Vegas Golden Knights have to resort to dump and chase. The fact that this team that is known league-wide, feared league-wide for their transition game, felt that their best strategy while down 2 goals late in a hockey game was to just throw the puck into the zone and try to make something happen, means that we completely befuddled them. We got under their skin. We broke them. And it was so amazing to watch.
Yeah, Vegas had so much trouble getting through the neutral zone at the end. I mean, they figured that was their only option. The Kraken held firm at the blue line and pestered the Golden Knights in a way that that really they did for most of the game, and that's just so impressive. And yeah, as Greg pointed out, having guys play on appropriate lines is important, and more scorers is good. Andre Burakovsky with the 2 goals tonight.
Yeah.
Guys playing on appropriate lines. I mean, that's what it's all about, pushing those other guys down the lineup and then providing that extra scoring.
Yeah, and Larson was shaky at the beginning. All right, everybody on the defense was shaky in the beginning of this one. Lots of opportunities just left wide open. Right before that first Vegas goal, we were talking about, like, why are they just not covering the front of the net? Like, someone go help out Grubauer, and it came back to bite him. But otherwise, Larson and really all of the defense, Alexiak had an amazing play, led to that second Burakovsky goal we'll talk about later, I'm sure. But a lot of the defense really stepped up offensively. They really wanted to get that D involved. They wanted to shoot low from the point, get those rebounds. That's how you get that Donato goal to start it off. Like, it was a really solid effort from everybody back there. Duthin, who was with us for that live game commentary with the super chat here as well. Thank you for that. And thanks for joining us earlier with the happy birthday, Gru. Great win. That is right. So we get Grubauer to come back. He gets his first win of the season. Number 31 on his 31st birthday, RJ. Love to see it.
Yeah, the huge win, huge comeback game for the German gentleman, getting back in the net and really, getting better as the game progressed. And that was what was so great to see, at least for me. He was able to settle in and just look so calm and on top of things.
Yeah. I think I said super chat one too many times. Look who's here. She knows what super chat means.
She knows what super chat means. Yes, absolutely.
CR Bud. Let's talk maturity. Great first 10, horrid second 10 in period 1, went into the locker room and fixed it. That is a team maturing. 1000% CR Bud, hit the nail on the head. This team, night and day from last season. The job of the coaching staff, the job of the leaders on the team, just the job of the team as a whole to recompose themselves after giving up that 2-goal lead, right? Like, you're off to this 2-goal start, everything's fantastic, and then you just kind of throw it away there late in the first period. Oh my gosh, Afra. but for them to come back and do that, and we talked about this going into the first period, right? We both kind of gave what we would do. Excuse me. We both gave what we would do, what we would say if we were Hackstall. We talked about this, and we both kind of came to the determination that no matter what we do, no matter what Dave Hackstall is going to say to this team, we trust this coaching staff to come up with a game plan and come out and have it be solid, and at the very least have them kind of turn things around and not have this be a bad snowball where they come out super flat in the second period. We just knew that. We have that confidence in this team now, and it's so wonderful.
Yeah, despite blowing a 2-goal lead, we felt confident going into that intermission that, look, they're going to fix this. And because they played that good first 10 minutes or so, we felt like it was there and, and able to be corrected. And that's such a departure for last season. I mean, anyone who was watching these with us at this time last year knew that once they gave up those 2 goals to have Vegas tie it, that was it. Game was over. It felt like.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how last year went, and so it's a big departure for them. Thanks for the super chat there, and then Tammy with the super chat with the treats for Dogskoy. So there we go.
There you go.
In frame. There you go.
You made it happen, Tammy. Thank you so much for the super chat. We both thank you, and of course, Dogskoy thanks you.
Yep,
Yes,
she's loving it
that.
for sure.
And a hashtag back the hack. And
yes.
Drew.
Yes. Definitely. Oh, it was so nice to see Gru get this one in. Little shaky in the first there, but able to get going and pick up that solid W. Happy to see that from him and from the rest of the team. I don't even know where to begin with chat. There's like
we have another super chat actually.
Oh, okay, all right.
This one from Sergeant Pickles. We're going streaking through the quad.
He's got you, RJ.
Yes,
up there.
Another win streak, and of course the famous line by fellow USC Trojan alumnus Will Ferrell ahead of USC's big game against Notre Dame tomorrow. Had to throw that in there. Fight on, go Trojans.
There you go. Let's see. I was starting to doubt if this team could play good when Gruby was in net. That's from Joshua. Yeah, no, this team stepped up for Grubauer, get him that first win of the season. Really, really appreciate that. I mean, they left him out to dry for those first 2 goals, but after that, they stepped up and they played really well in front of him to the point where in that third period, I mean, like I said, Vegas just wasn't even getting shots. They just couldn't get a shot off.
Yeah, that shot counter was stuck on 19 for so long. And even they couldn't get to a position where they could really pull their goalie for a while and get set up there. I mean, just there were hardly any shot attempts. That is how you protect your goalie. We've seen them do it in front of Jones, and thankfully we're seeing them do it in front of Philip Grubauer tonight.
Yeah, Medeiros, people need to have faith in this team. I think that faith is definitely building. Picking up a win right here is absolutely massive for them. I think that's a big deal. And then yeah, I just think Grubauer looks solid tonight once he gets going. Yeah, I had to expect that there was going to be some rust there. You know what I mean? Like nobody can sit out that long and not kind of have a little bit. So once he shook off the rust, it was positive. And then just go back to Tammy's super chat, right? Back the hack. Like I have faith in the coaching staff to make changes and make moves and get this team going now.
Yeah, it's amazing to see. I mean, after kind of where we were last year, I think it bears remembering, how far the Kraken have come.
Yeah, Michael beat Nade destroyed Vegas in transition, which is a development with the big eyes emojis there. I mean, like I said, that you just broke them. I've never seen Vegas look so lost.
I know. You do not usually see this Golden Knights team look this way, and especially this year. I mean, they're the top team in the West, second in the NHL. This is not some bad opponent like the Sharks. You're making Vegas look like this.
Yeah, Dalek pointing out Knights got booed out of their barn. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we were wondering that because we didn't have the audio during the stream. That's good to confirm there.
We're doing it for sure.
All right, we got a pair of super chats. Let's go.
I was gonna say a couple more super chats. This from Sean, the first one. All the treats for Dogskoy studs. The law firm of Berkey, Ebbs, and Gru duds. Those 5 minutes in the first where they fell on their heads or something. Yeah, it wasn't great defensively. I don't know what they were thinking. It wasn't fantastic there.
There you go. More treats.
There, just come sit on my lap. Thank you for that and everything. And I can't quite see the second one if you want to grab that.
We got Jules. I just went on break and saw the end score. I just cheered and started jumping in the break room. Can't wait to watch the game. Oh yeah, glad that is the news to start your break too. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. I think we can all appreciate that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Uh, all right, so let's see where we're going here. Brian, great team game. Grubauer stepped up, defense calmed down, and our forwards were again relentless on the forecheck. That was a big part of it, right? Because if a team like the Golden Knights, really any team wants to be successful in transition, a big part of that is being able to have multiple forwards. You know, once you get the puck, get out of that zone fast, start driving down towards the opposing team zone. If they're all having to play defense, right? If your wingers are having to pinch down and really play the half board so that, in this case, the Kraken can't send the puck back to the point, or your center has to come down and really play low in the zone to really try to cover the slot because you've given up a goal there already. It completely takes that away from what Vegas wants to do because it's impossible to have transition if you don't have bodies that can get up the ice quickly.
Exactly. And that's the Kraken kind of kept forcing the issue there, and clean exits as well. A forecheck when you have active sticks, as you mentioned, during the live commentary, when you have active sticks like that, just getting in the way of those breakout passes, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, agreed, Lindsay. That third period was a clinic on how to defend a lead. Agreed. They did such a fantastic job. I think at the beginning we were all kind of just waiting for like some sort of switch to flip and it to be like like, oh, here comes Vegas, something's gonna happen, something bad's gonna happen, or at least like they were gonna get dangerous. And they just never did. To the point where we were talking, waiting for them to pull Aiden Hill, and they just couldn't even do that because they just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, it was amazing to see.
Medeiros coming in with the super chat. This is a comeback season for the whole team, and they are not going to leave the German gentleman behind. Our tandem is about to rock everyone's socks. I agree. Now that we've seen this team play like this in front of Grew made big time saves in this one. The biggest one for me, and this is why everyone should have faith in Grubauer from now on, made a save under his arm. He's able to
Hmm.
squeeze that hole shut because last year that was one of
Yep.
those things where we were watching almost every time when we were like, "Oh, that's a leaky goal from Grew." It was always under his arms. Nah, he got that one, and now that that's under control for him, forget about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad to see that super chat from you, Vidaros, with such a big game for the German gentleman. And imagine that, Dylan. I mean, if this isn't just
Mhm.
Martin Jones, standing on his head and kind of carrying the team, if the Kraken have two really capable goalies that can feed off what the defense gives them and play solid behind this team as good as they are, I mean, that's a dangerous, dangerous hockey team.
It really is. Really, really is. Stratic here with the stats for Grew. 909 save percentage and 0.19 goals saved above expected. He was glorious. He was gloriously beautifully average, and I loved it. I don't know. I think the expected goals there might be a little off because he saved some big time dangerous chances in this one. I think he was above average, but it was just nice to see him get that solid win on his birthday. Just so happy for him. So happy. Stuart Goodman, there's our metaphorical Stanley Cup. Now onto the real one. I think that's a good comment right there because that it does. It feels like a weight has been lifted now that we've gotten that win against Vegas.
Yep. Just on the way to the real one. Got to beat the Canucks.
Think of how much stuff we don't have to deal with now on social media. Everybody from all those terrible Vegas fans.
Just yeah, think of that. Enjoy
Like,
that.
forget about picking up the 2 points. We don't give them a loser point. Like what that means for the division, what that means, larger scale when it comes to the playoffs. Just think of how much nicer all of our, experience is going to be now that we have a win against Vegas and we don't have to keep hearing it from the Vegas fans. That's another big part of this.
Huge.
Sean, Patreon members got a special extended dog scoy appearance too, worth every penny. Yeah, she was a big part of this one today. I think that's partly why she's so pushy now. Got Sergeant Pickles studs here. Berkey short side, chef's kiss. Damn good defensively in the third. See it through, and then Grew, of course. Yeah, I think Grubauer has to be part of the studs in this one. Second stud for me though has to be the big rig for that second Burakovsky goal. We talked about it through that first intermission. One of the things the Kraken had to do was they could not match the pace of play that Vegas wanted. This is not a team that's built to attack with speed, make those bang bang plays. Kraken just always struggle with that. They always struggle with making the right pass or having that pass, receiving that pass, whatever it is. Kraken just don't play that style of game. And so we talked about if you get the puck in the offensive zone, go ahead, go into the offensive zone, pull up, circle back if you have to. Just make sure that the whole team can get set up in the offensive zone, and then you can attack, then you can take advantage, then you can play your game. And that's exactly what Jamie Alexiak did. He skates the puck up the ice. They had struggled earlier in that second period with gaining zone entries. He skates it up the ice himself. He doesn't try to make a pass that the Golden Knights can read and react to. Skates it up the ice himself, gets into the zone, goes deep, pulls up, pulls back, makes a read, waits until he really has to pass. When he knows he's got a good, safe, clean pass to a guy in a good scoring spot, passes it to Burakovsky, and then Burakovsky gets the goal. To me, that is just the highlight of the night. That play, I could just talk about it forever.
Yeah, and it encapsulates everything that really works best for the Kraken. The defense getting involved in the offensive zone, when players hold on to the puck, draw opponents to them before making a pass, and then
Mhm.
Burakovsky, that shot. What a difference, from that to anything else that that the Kraken had last season.
Oh yeah, they did not have somebody who could do that. And again, the patience from Burakovsky too. He knew exactly when he had to finally get rid of that puck because he had, I think, 3 Golden Knights converging on him. Like he waited and skated in to the absolute last second to get rid of it, and it was just an absolute snipe.
Mhm.
Love to see it. You want to pick up that super chat because I have some good comments here that I want to get to after.
Yeah, we got a super chat from Schultz here. Thank you so much. Great smothering defense in the third.
Mhm.
What do the Kraken do when Drieger is ready to go? Now, interesting situation. I mean, good problem to have, I suppose. I mean, the
Yes.
Kraken have so many good goalies. I mean, even losing like Magnus Hellberg, so many good goalies in the
Mhm.
organization. I think given the way Martin Jones is playing, you can't bring Drieger in right away as like the backup. He's especially coming in cold.
Mhm.
We've seen the effect that can have on goalies. I think they try and work him into things practice wise, but maybe a trade happens there, but I just don't think you can abandon Martin Jones at this point. It's going to be tough to carry 3 goalies for any extended stretch of time if it's before the trade deadline. But it looks like, I mean, he's been skating. Drieger's been back on the ice. He may just come back before the trade deadline, which may force their hand.
Right. I was gonna say best case scenario, it's pre-trade deadline and you're able to move a goaltender, and you don't have to deal with it. But I mean, if he comes back after, do you just waive him?
Well, no, if he comes back after, you don't need to because there's no roster size
Oh,
limit.
that's true. Yeah, then you're fine. So there
So
you go.
maybe they have him, wait for that essentially, even if he's better.
This
No,
is the
no
NH
team would ever
I
do
was gonna
that.
say this is the NHL, so somehow it's on the table. Uh, okay, so I like both of these. SJ, all the national analysts are still calling this a PDO bender, but I would like to hope that we're just this good. Is that really what people have been saying? This has just
Yeah,
been
I
like a
haven't heard
PDO
that
bender for the Kraken because
ton, but
I haven't. It hasn't felt that way to me anyway.
well, time
Just
to
looking at
check where the
things.
Kraken rank in
Yeah.
PDO this season. So if you can hold it down for a second
Yeah,
while I
that's why
do
I
that.
wanted to that's why I wanted to do it. Well, the other question I have here is I'm
Kraken are
curious to
fourth
know,
in the
aren't you?
NHL in PDO.
Well, all right. Well, that's whatever. But I don't know, it feels sustainable. We're watching these games each and every night and they're just playing better. Like tonight, they were just the better hockey team.
Yeah. And I'm looking at actually, it's not save percentage driven. Oddly enough, they're ninth in save percentage and then second in the league in shooting percentage.
Yeah.
Um, So interesting, but again, they got guys with shooting talent. Matty Beniers only has, what he's got is 6 goals, but like 1 on the power
One
play. We
on
were
the
looking at
power
the goal
play.
totals,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah.
Um, and picks up an assist tonight. One of the things that I think about though is yeah, I thought that it had to be shooting driven because one of the things I've been noticing, and I talked about this a little bit earlier, was the idea the Kraken haven't had like there hasn't been big swings in these Kraken games between as far as shot advantage.
Mhm.
I can't remember the last time the Kraken had 30 shots on goal in a game. Like it's been a while, which tells
Yeah.
you the Kraken are kind of picking and choosing their spots right now, and it's paying off for them. But I think part of that is just because the system that they're playing right now is really well, right? Like you give Burakovsky chances like he had tonight, of course he's going to pick up a couple goals, right? You play soft defense and let Jordan Eberle just slice and dice you like that, of course he's going to get a goal. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. Like I get that there's probably some room to come down a little bit there, but I don't know that it's a ton.
Yeah, I don't think so. And again, when you talk about shooting percentage, there's a lot of things it doesn't take into account. But when you look at a guy like Andre Burakovsky, who's kind of driving the bus there, he's
Mhm.
someone who we know has shooting talent. I mean, and like elite shooting talent by some measures, just in that area of the game. So there's no reason to believe that won't continue.
Yeah. Looks like another super chat down there if you can
Yep.
grab
Want me
that
to get
one.
it?
Yeah.
All right, we got super chat from Sergeant Pickles here. Duds, Berkey denied the empty net Hattie. All my homies hate turbo injury scares. Oh my god, yes. And those mustard stain abominations can get in the bin. We coming for first.
Yes. Let's go.
That
Sergeant
that is a
Pickles knows
great
what's
super
up.
chat.
Yeah, we took those jerseys are horrible. They just look so ugly on the TV broadcast. They look so ugly. And then yeah, the Tanev thing. Oh my gosh, we were all so freaked out because it also coincided with Bjorkstrand blocking a shot with his face.
Both of them going off at once, both of them going down to the tunnel. Tanev worried me more just because I like you couldn't tell exactly what it was, but man, when you saw his skate got caught in the ice and a non-contact type of injury too, that scared me so much. But glad that Tanev's okay. Crisis averted there.
Yeah.
And yeah, as far as we come in for first, Kraken are 6 points back of Vegas, but
Mhm.
2 games in hand. You know,
Mhm.
you win those 2 games in hand, you're 1 game back.
Right. That's what I said. It's totally doable. And after tonight, like I said, it's huge. You pick up the full 2 points in this one. It's the only points given out. Absolutely fantastic. Back to back here from Sean and Emmy Chan. Wow, Stone, Stevenson, Eichel 0 points, and then the next one, the fact that the second most feared line in the NHL got 0 points is insane. Kraken played them well. Like there was only one or two, I think two dangerous chances from Eichel all night, and none really that I can recall for the other two guys.
No, I mean, Mark Stone was pretty invisible to me tonight. I mean, how many times did we say his name during the live commentary, aside
Like
from talking about the tape job on his stick?
once. It
Yeah,
was literally
one
one
time.
time. I think the other time was I was talking about how injury prone he is.
Okay, well, yeah.
He had
Yeah, but I mean, that's a good sign when you're not
this
really
is
talking about Mark Stone.
this is the quietest stat line he might have ever had. So he played 22-42. So he was out there
That's a lot of ice
forever.
time. Yeah.
Yes, as a forward, that's a lot of ice time. He only had one hit and two takeaways. That's it. There's nothing else on his stat line. It's all just zeros.
Wow. Except plus minus, I imagine. Or is that a
No,
zero
it's
too?
zero.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Everything is zeros. I'm just going across the line here. It's just 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 2. That's it. so
Amazing.
so that's what I'm saying. Like they somehow had their arguably their best player play forever out there as much as any forward is reasonably going to, and just did nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Awesome job. Daryl right there too with it as well. Only two shots from that line, as Ty points out. Like everyone is going off about that in this part of chat. Uh, Carter with the playoffs. No,
It's past
it's
Thanksgiving. We can talk about it
I was
now.
gonna say we are trending that way for sure. 1000%. We're right there.
All right, we got a super chat here from
Go for it.
Jay. If we're still in a playoff spot at the trade deadline, we should be. What kind of players should we be targeting for a trade? All right, Jay really took that playoff talk. Yeah, we
Yeah.
gave him the go ahead, and then bam. All right, what kind of players should we be targeting for a trade? Do you want to start this one, or should I?
It's tough because I feel like you almost don't want to rock the boat with the way things are going. Um, I'm gonna
That's something
say,
that, by the way, that like Kraken fans haven't really experienced yet.
yeah,
But you know, if unless you're
being
fans
a
of previous
buyer
teams,
at the
but yeah,
deadline.
it's like do you that balance between upsetting what you already have going well for you, you know, versus wanting to add, it can be a difficult equation there.
This might be like a cop out answer because you could probably say this about every team, but a defenseman. I feel like they need a defenseman. They either need a depth defenseman that can be a little bit more solid, stay at home kind of guy, like tonight, right? Read that, hey, we're not playing well in front of Grubauer, like directly in front of him. We need to do something about that. Or they need somebody who can play the puck and kind of be that offensive anchor of a defenseman because Vince Dunn had another rough night when it came to that. Couple times just couldn't hold the zone, particularly late in that first period when they were already struggling as a team. Anytime they tried to get something going offensively, and he just let the puck, drift away. And then on the power play too, just still not feeling it from him.
Yeah, agreed. And chat kind of agreeing with us on defense. And I would agree with you. Defenseman, either a depth defenseman, maybe someone left-handed, maybe someone more defensively oriented, or if you're gonna swing for the fences, like a top pairing defenseman, someone who can move Vince Dunn down to the second pair, maybe munch some of those minutes with Adam Larson if you are really going for it. I don't think that would be the right idea, just given what you have to give up historically to get a guy like that.
Yeah.
But just an ad around the edges. And I trust Ron Francis to be able to find a bargain there.
Here's one. Here's the biggest ad you can do. Just
Okay.
play Will Borgen more. Just
Yeah.
play him more. He's like your best defenseman right
Sean,
now.
give us more Borgen. Yes.
Yes,
I think he beat you to that comment. Yeah.
yeah, probably. That's the addition that you can make right now. Again, he's fewest ice time of all Kraken defensemen tonight, and I thought he played the best of all of them.
Yeah. No, agreed. Hey, Lindsay, I'm once again requesting Borgen for power play quarterback. Why not put him everywhere? Give him more ice time and until we see some reason not to.
Yeah, I don't, and yeah, Vince Dunn power play time leader today, which is interesting too. I guess he's stuck out there for that long, terrible power play in the middle of the game. Lindsay, me before the season, I don't know how good this team is. I'd be happy if we missed the playoffs by only a little. Me now, screw that. We're winning Lord Stanley's Cup, baby. I know it certainly feels that way, and I'm very happy for that kind of like turnaround and for it to happen so fast in the season too. It's not like we hung around and then we like hit our stride halfway through, right? Everything clicked for us and like the young guys stepped up and whatever. No, it's like we've hit the ground running now, and it's just showing no signs of stopping.
I know. I just given where they're at in the standings, and as the numbers just start to add up about playoff probability when you're at this spot, the window starts to adjust itself.
I was going to say, speaking of which, as Joey has in here, 74% of teams in playoff position after Thanksgiving make the playoffs.
Yep, that's correct. I tweeted that I think this morning, and it's true. I mean, those are good numbers.
Let's see. Some talk in here. I see it's a response to Ty, but I don't know where that original one is, but it's from the Sandpipes. I think RJ and Dylan have said that Jones is really good against LA, particularly in LA. So most likely see Jones versus LA. It's talking about the upcoming goaltending matchups. Yeah, Jay's confirming it. Yeah. Jones against LA in LA all day long.
He's
Give
money.
it to us. And then Dylan, Matty up to 15 points. Can't get enough of him for sure. And we talked about this when we saw the Golden Knights were starting Aiden Hill, right? Because Logan Thompson, like NHL.com did a quick poll of some trophy voters, and they voted Logan Thompson ahead of Matty Beniers for Calder based on this year. And I was like, all right, so big potential matchup then for them to play against each other here, right? Like big moment. If Matty can score on him or something, that could really sway Calder votes. Vegas didn't play him. They're afraid. I think Vegas was afraid. That's the only reasoning I could think of for them to put in Aiden Hill, was that they were afraid to stick Logan Thompson out there and have Matty Beniers have a good game against him and sway the Calder momentum that Logan Thompson has at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, after watching Aiden Hill play, I can't think of any reason why you'd put him in there besides that.
Yeah, it was bad. Dev guy asking, how much of an impact is Dave Lowry having on the team? Coaching seems different this year. Coaching is definitely different this year. I think part of that is just having a full off season with the squad, understanding where everybody's at, getting to know them. Dave Hackstall last season had about a week and a half before preseason started just to know who was even on his team. So I think that just they were behind the eight ball the whole year, the coaching staff. I think that Dave Lowry, though, has helped as far as making these in-game adjustments. I think that's where the Dave Lowry thing has really stepped up, because that's basically what they told us they wanted from him when they brought him in right at the beginning of the year, was the idea of he can notice things throughout a game and start working with players there on the bench or during the intermissions and stuff and turn things around. And I think that that's been one of the major differences from the Kraken year 1 to year 2.
Yeah, and Dave Hackstall would agree. He's talked about how valuable it is to have Dave Lowry on the coaching staff. He's been asked about that, and he said it's great to have another guy who can kind of see things in a way that Hackstall's got to be that guy who's basically running everything, right? And to have a guy who it's his job to kind of sit back and take that wider view. That's really helpful.
Yeah, I like this as we're talking about the coaching staff from Michael. I'm so happy that I now look like an idiot for all my fire Hackstall comments. I am too, Michael. I'm happy that Hackstall's proven everybody wrong there. the back of the hack is for real. It's a good feeling that to have that trust. Like I said, going into that first intermission, the fact that we just knew the Kraken were going to come out different in the second period, that's big. It's so big. I didn't realize how special and like, good that is. Like I really took it for granted before last season, and not
Yeah.
having it, you really notice when it's not there. Having that kind of quiet confidence in your coaching staff is big deal. Lindsay, so is Burakovsky at 5.5 million until 2027 a massive steal or what? This guy has been so clutch and just makes the team's leagues better. Yeah, he's so good. He's so good at generating offense. He's so good at making some plays. I know some people have issues when he tries to like, be the hero, or he tries to go like 1v4 like he did in it for a moment in this one. But the bottom line is I want somebody who is, he's kind of gutsy and he's got that confidence in himself because he knows, most of the time this is actually going to work out for me. Just like tonight, he had one time it didn't work out, but he also scored 2 goals. I take that trade-off.
Absolutely. And to have a player with that kind of shooting talent as well. If we remember back to last season, like when you said you don't realize how important it is to have that confidence in the coaching staff until it's not there and it's just glaring. You don't realize how important it is to have finishers on your team until it's not there.
Yes.
And it's just glaring. And having a guy like Andre Burakovsky who's able to finish on these plays and to turn a shot from the slot, with no traffic in front or anything, but just to beat the goalie one-on-one like that, it adds so much. And especially that 3-2 goal. I know Alexiak did so much to make that play happen, but that was the turning point where the momentum shifted totally in the Kraken's favor from that point on through the rest of the game.
For sure. And I think that does help set up Jordan Eberle's goal too. Pardon me. Just in the sense that this Vegas team at that point was starting to look pretty defeated. Like they just defensively, they weren't looking right. Aiden Hill, you could tell he was bothered by some stuff as much as he wanted us to think he wasn't by flipping the puck out after he'd make a glove save or something. I think that was all just show because they were getting to him. And I think that started with the first goal. Talked about how if a goaltender has, in this case, Ryan Donato just untouched right in front of them like that, and they're screening them, so you can't really get a good read on the initial point shot from Larson. You give up the rebound, and you're upset that you're giving up that rebound, and then your team isn't there to even put a hand on this guy before he can just bang home that rebound right away around you even, right? It's not like, oh, he just kind of like shoveled it through something. No, he just like literally gets it, moves it to the side, and shoots around you. It's brutal on the confidence, and just right away you're getting in that goaltender's head. And I do think that stuck with Aiden Hill the rest of the game. All of these goals were kind of goals that could kind of get at him, and they ate away at the defense of the Golden Knights as well.
Yep, they did.
This is definitely a big one from Joey, and I think it's good at showing how far this team has come. Joey saying this after they destroyed us earlier in the year. Yeah, I mean that was like a low point. Right? Like that was right before we did a deep dive, and that deep dive was probably the only negative deep dive we've done this entire season, but it was really negative. Like it was because everybody was. It was just like it was what, third game into the season, and we were just all like, "Oh no, here we go again." And it was brutal. And so for them to turn it around and come back and beat this team in Vegas like this, make them look like that, make the Golden Knights right now fans all go like, oh my gosh, what's happening? This is not what we're used to seeing. What they how come we couldn't get any pressure late in the game? I'm so happy.
Yeah, I mean, after that first game, we're just like, oh, we're here again, remembering last season. And because the Kraken did not belong in the same building as that Golden Knights team that night. I mean, just completely outclassed. And to see the change from there to this, it's just remarkable.
Yeah. Shout out to Tyler. Can't wait to see the Kraken live, coming from Texas to see him take on Columbus in January. Go Kraken. Hope you have a wonderful time, Tyler. I'm sure you will. It's going to be good. Dalek, the Kraken played a ridiculously clean game tonight too. How many penalties did they cause? It feels like they're at least 5 less than usual. Yeah, I mean, this has been the trend for the Kraken though, right? Talked about it on the last deep dive. One of the things they were starting to improve on was discipline, and it's held through these next 2 games. Golden Knights did go 1 for 1 on the power play. So the one power play we gave Vegas, they did capitalize. It wasn't exactly a great PK effort too, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, there was the high tip and Larson and
it was bad. But Kraken did a good job of staying out of the box, which was kind of everybody's key to the game as we were all getting ready to watch
Yeah.
together in the live game commentary. Everyone's just stay out of the box. Joshua, all caps, right? Stay out of the box.
Yeah. And we got a super chat here from Sergeant Pickles. Who gets the hat? I go Big Rig or Gru?
Oh, it's got to be Gru on his
I
birthday
would think
coming back
Gru,
from
right? On
injury.
his
Gotta
birthday,
be
that
Gru.
effort coming back.
That being
Gotta be.
said, there's been a couple times where we've seen guys where it feels like, oh, it's got to go to this guy for like all these reasons, and then it goes to someone else.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
That's true, and it's always kind of like the gritty pick or whatever. That was, I guess, the theme this season. I think Gru works for that though this time.
Yeah. What a win, boys. Just outplayed Vegas. I'm sure we are a playoff team from Sergio there. Kraken will be motivated after opening night in Anaheim from Joey. Oh, yeah, I'm excited for that game. Excited to go down there for that game. Definitely want to get some flip that narrative, flip that script a little bit. Tammy, so happy that we play as a team. Our opponents can't focus on just shutting down the dangerous guys because everyone can score. Also, that pass from Alexiak to Berkey. Yeah, I mean, again, we've talked about this now through multiple games. If you're trying to approach playing the Kraken right now, there's only so much that you can do when they're going to throw 4 lines at you, and you've got to try to juggle. Okay, which one do we focus on?
Yeah, they've got to be such a hard team to game plan for him. We haven't really approached it from that angle very much this season of like, okay, well, how do you game plan for your opponent, the Kraken? Because that's the one opponent the Kraken aren't going to have. But yeah, thinking about it, I mean, like what do you do? You can't really focus in on, like with the Golden Knights, that Eichel and Stone line. Like you can focus in on those guys and try and shut them down. With the Kraken, it like, where do you start? And I think it also kind of reminds me of those first couple of years of the Golden Knights, where they were built. We talked about what made them so
that
special.
First year,
they had like 3 second lines and a third line. That was what their team was, and it feels like the Kraken have that this year.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I almost don't even want to think about it. I don't want to like put anything out in the universe, like speculate with you, like how do we stop this team, and then accidentally come up with the way of stopping them, and just give it away because Bruce Cassidy's watching this right now. Hi, Bruce. Try to see what's going on. I have to point out another goal scorer's goal, this time by Ebbs. Good Lord, we are getting high skill shooters looks, and it's sexy. Bjorky last game too. Yeah, that Eberle goal was just one of those will not be denied moments. Just
that was gorgeous.
Split the defense, stick with it. Takes, I think, 2 shots that both rebound back out to him through the whole course of that. Maybe certainly that last one, the paddle save from Aiden Hill. Just stuck with it, and like I said, it's an effort play from Eberle who keeps it going. That was what 5 and 7, I think, for him. The graphic said so. So happy.
Yeah, that was such a pretty play, and again to stick with it. I mean, that is huge.
Yeah, Sean, studs and duds. We've read off other people's studs, but I guess we got to give ours. Sean here with the studs of Burakovsky, Grubauer, and then Eberle, Alexiak. I think Gru for me is one of them. Alexiak, like I said already, and then it's hard not to go with Burakovsky with the 2 big goals.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, that just about covers it. I'm trying to think of like kind of a stud that maybe we haven't mentioned or talked a ton about. Brandon Tanev, I thought was another one. Just tenacious on the forecheck and everything. This was a game that was kind of meant for him. Glad he's okay after the knee thing, but I thought he was good.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could always go Borgen in this one. 4 hits, 2 blocks. He was kind of instrumental in shutting down the Eichel line a couple times.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alexiak is our secret weapon. Certainly offensively this year, it's just been like this total like awakening for him. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Just so everyone knows, Kraken have the exact same record as the Central Division leading Dallas Stars. That is good to know.
Actually, yeah, and because I remember I was looking at where they ranked in the West now, and they're Vegas is first, and then it's tied with same record with Seattle and Dallas. So I think Dallas is playing tonight. If they lose, the Kraken could be outright second in the West.
Yeah, that was from Cody, and Jake was saying, yeah, tied for second in the conference. Yeah. I'm trying to see. This might be a little old because my page hasn't refreshed in a while, but Winnipeg and Dallas tied 4-4 with 18 seconds left in regulation.
Yeah, no, that's pretty current.
All right, so fun times ahead in that one. We'll see.
Yep.
Looks like they might get at least a point though if that goes to overtime. Tammy, the Eberle goal summarizes how I see our team: tenacious. And I love that. Like, I want to be rooting for a tenacious team. I think everybody does. I think it's one of those things that also helps get new fans, right? We talked about this last game about just get fans in the building, get fans into CPA, and they'll fall in love with the sport of hockey and with this team. And part of that is because of their tenaciousness. It's hard not to watch them go out there, watch guys like Brandon Tanev, watch guys like Jordan Eberle grind out with 6 shots in something like this, watch guys like Jaden Schwartz, and not
Mhm.
just fall in love with that work ethic and that passion and that drive. Like, it's infectious and it just makes you want to get up out of your seat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just this style of play is going to make so many new hockey fans. Just
Mhm.
got to get them into Kraken hockey. If you have friends that that aren't aware of the wonderful sport of hockey and the Seattle Kraken, hey, get them in. Now is a good time. Maybe last season I understand wanting to hold off a bit,
Yeah.
but now is a good time to get them into it.
Exactly. Daryl, don't remember seeing anything close to a highlight from Eichel. Yeah, he just had a couple of like shot attempts. Ty pointed out he only had 2 shots that whole time. There was only one that was sort of dangerous, and really Larson got over and was able to deflect it. It was a good move. But yeah, otherwise he couldn't get going. In the offensive zone, he looked lost. He was always trying to find a place to kind of post up, and he just never was able to find one. It was really kind of nice to see him look so just lost.
Yeah.
It was fun. Um,
I'm going to
uh,
engage in a little bit of self promotion here. This comment from
yeah.
Jay. Hey, everyone here. If you haven't already, just throw RJ and Dylan a like. Takes no effort, helps people find a fantastic
Mhm.
Kraken post game. Like the stream if you can. Actually, wow, I just saw it go up by a lot. So,
There we
everyone,
go.
like the stream if you can.
Makes a deal. Um, it's so from Brian, weird. My super chat went through but never posted. Yeah, let
Oh,
us know. I will
that is odd.
repost. Brian said, let me go down. I'm looking for the next Brian post to see. Brian, Stone barking. That's too many. Ren ref respond. It's Tanev and Gord Stone exactly. Oh my gosh, is that something that really happened? That's
I
incredible.
believe it.
That's absolutely incredible.
Too much man.
Oh, that is so good. I think I know exactly the point in the game that
Yeah,
was
I
too.
think I
That
remember
was
that too.
that
Got
was
to go back there.
in that first period, kinda halfway through that first period, I believe. Because
We can get the lip reading on that. We had to clip that and tweet it somewhere. Maybe someone already has.
definitely, definitely. Because yeah, there was the good give and go from Tanev, and then Gord had that sweet shot, just, like, steep angle right by the side of the net, and it beat Hill, but it just trickled across the crease and out. Wow. Let's see. Um The hockey guy, you can laugh and say that the Kraken aren't for real, but soon enough that laughter will be turned around on you. That's a quote from Jay letting us know from the hockey guy. I like that. Like that for sure. Um, Sergeant Pickles responded to Sean about the bar down guys still talking smack on the Kraken too. So let me go up. Steve Dangle pod, I don't buy the Kraken. I'm sorry. I just don't. Paraphrasing. Wow, Dangle needs to get on board. Dangle needs to stay up and watch a Kraken game, is what that tells me.
That's what it is. I mean, that's the problem. He's got to, edit these LFRs and everything. Got to stay up. Just watch one Kraken game. You'll
Yeah.
you'll be convinced.
Yeah, Joey, Steve Dangle doesn't know anything. He said Leafs would be in the conference finals last year. The Leafs lost in the first round, as they do. And then Sean. Okay, so we'll talk about this a little bit too, because I'm sure lots of people want to. Cherry on top, Shane Wright scores 2 goals in his second AHL game. We talked about this during the live game commentary. It's going to be a big part of the next deep dive coming out on Monday. I'll probably just make it the first topic we talk about, although maybe now it'll be us finally beating Vegas. I don't know. There's going to be lots of good stuff. But yes, Shane Wright is absolutely killing it. My hot take for the pod, and it's already been blown out of the water, was that Shane Wright's too good for the AHL. And yeah, he's just too good for the AHL. RJ, I don't even think I need to explain it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there are still some elements of his game that he can work on there. As far as I wouldn't say it's a complete 200-foot game, that's just not fair. But as far as his shot, his finishing ability, yeah, it's just not fair for what the AHL is. And we're seeing that, but it shows how valuable, just these few games are for him and his confidence, just getting puck touches. Because he looks like a very different player when he's touching the puck versus when he's
Yeah.
not. Because with the Kraken, he just has not been touching the puck very much.
Right. And it's not just touching the puck, it's touching a puck against people he obviously feels confident against.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could tell, like after that first period, he was like, oh, I'm like better than most of these guys. And then he just went out there and he gets that first goal, he gets the 2 in the next game, and they're like confident goal scorer goals. Lots of people talking about how he's elevating the puck. Like, that's fantastic to see, and it speaks to his confidence. I'm happy to see him smiling as much as he's been
Yes.
smiling. Like, that's a big deal for me after everything. But I think the bottom line was, and this wouldn't surprise me at all knowing the coaching staff down there, but I think the messaging from the coaching staff, from Dan Bilesma and everybody else, was go out there, score, be confident, just go for it. I think Dan Bilesma, the moment they got Shane Wright in the building, was just go for it. Don't worry about defense. Don't worry about anything. Go out there and wreak havoc offensively, because that's what it looks like from him. At first I was like, this doesn't look like Shane Wright. This is like, it's a different player, because he's not like trying to play defensively at all. But then I was like, you know what? Dan Bilesma is the exact kind of guy that would take somebody who's going through this rough, awkward situation and just be like, forget about all of it, go out there and just get me a goal, and like just go for it, you know?
Yeah, no, Dan Bilesma is great. I could totally see that. And you see that also in his usage, his utilization. He's not being used in these shutdown situations. He's not killing penalties. He's out there going out and trying to score. And if you're putting up 3 goals in 2 games, I mean, you're helping the team
Yeah.
pretty much no matter what else you're doing. Shane Wright, he's never going to be a bad defensive player. It's not like he's
Yeah.
cherry picking
Yeah.
the blue line the whole game. But with that finishing ability, it's great that he's able to help the team that way and rebuild his confidence at the same time.
Right. And like I said, those are like good goals off of transitions. Like, they're solid goals too. SJ, Tanev and Bjorky going off at once really made my blood pressure jump. All of us. We were all just like, oh no, we're all just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Imagine how
waiting to
Yanni
see what was
Gord feels
happening.
like, my line mates,
I
where'd
know.
you go?
Everybody just disappeared. The ghost got him. Daryl, Kraken are getting much better shots this year and are screening the goalie as well. They're working into the slot. You're seeing Burakovsky with his goals tonight, right? Kind of find empty spaces where you can have time and space and walk in on the goaltender. Uh, be in this position where with that time and space you can pick your corner, pick where you want to send that shot. That's a big deal, shooting from there. The fact that you're getting rebound goals, Donato tonight, Alexiak last game against the Sharks, right? There's a couple last game against the Sharks. Of course, you had 8 of them. Of course, there would be. There's a couple of everything in that game. But just the way that they're, hey, let's load up, let's get the puck back to the blue line, load up, try to get rebounds up front. Like, we talked about it a couple days ago about the idea of like simplifying the game, and that's really what it is. But it's like this tried and true method that's worked for like 100 years now, and there's a reason it works, because it's the best way forward.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, good to see the Kraken using that to full effect. I mean, yeah, I mean, you said it really. There's a reason it's a tried and true method.
um let's see. On our day, we can legitimately beat anyone in this league, from Sergeant Pickles. I'd agree with that statement.
Yeah, absolutely. The Kraken have shown that time and time again, and they play up to the top opponents. We've seen that consistently from them. Even last season, they play up to the top opponents.
Yeah. CR Bud, let's not forget when time was winding down and they couldn't get a shot with 6 attackers. It was beautiful, RJ.
I know it was something to watch. It was just art, and we we were going on about it too in the live commentary. Like, they can't get a shot. This is amazing.
Mhm. I mean, and that was once they finally got to the 6 attackers, and then it was just like they couldn't even, you know what I mean? Like, it took them a while just to get the goalie off the ice because they couldn't,
Mhm.
do anything. Uh, Lindsay, too soon to tell, probably a defenseman, but let's see how the next few months play out. Oh, that's way back from
Yeah,
the
about the
thing.
deadline
And
talk
I'm
back
so far
there.
down. Like, there's just
I know
so
Chad
many in
is
chat
Chad
tonight.
is bumping
So
again
cool.
tonight. This is awesome.
Let's see. This is from Jeff. For me, I've really enjoyed how much more physical the blue line has been, and Borgen to me has been the most improved. Then Susie has been more physical. Good mix this year: speed, power, and skill. I love that pairing tonight for kind of different reasons. Borgen was that physical element. He did a good job, especially behind the net, like you called out a couple times while watching the game, right? Rubbing guys out behind the net, and then with Susie, he was like the guy to like stand tall at the blue line in this one and defend against that dangerous Vegas transition game a couple times. He just some nice, well-timed poke checks from him.
He used his stick very well to guard against the Vegas transition, and the two of them were just working to full effect, using each other's strengths, really.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. CR Bud, my fam are finally starting to catch Kraken fever. Let's go.
Yes,
Let us
let's
go. Let's
go.
go. So happy for you, CR Bud. Hopefully this keeps going. As they keep winning, like it has to continue.
Yeah,
Um,
no, definitely, and everyone get your family involved. Get everyone on this
mhm.
Kraken train. It's
This
fun.
is- I was gonna say there's still time before like
There's still time.
other
Yeah,
people are gonna start calling them bandwagon fans.
yeah.
Like
Once
there's
the
still time.
playoffs rolls around, then all bets are off on the bandwagon. They got to do it
Mhm.
now.
Yeah. Uh, Sergeant Pickles has take off. Good night, Sergeant Pickles. CR Bud, someone said Tanev and Yanni are apex predators on the PK. They are. I mean, Yanni Gord kind of lost in all of this. Had one of the best like breakaway kind of opportunities on a PK that I've seen in a long time from this Kraken team.
Yeah, is that the one where he's going up against Petrangelo, or no? That was the other
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's the yeah, and then Petrangelo just like decided not to play hockey
Yeah,
for some
Gord
reason.
used some kind of mind trick on Petrangelo to get him to just not pressure him and let him walk in like that, and get a really good shot that almost went in. Yeah, Gord, I thought he had a solid game too, and especially getting some of the tougher matchups. He was out there against the Eichel line a lot, and
Mhm.
looking at Eichel's stats, at Stone's stats, that tells you a lot about how Yanni Gord played.
Yep. From Tina, I really wanted some Tanev revenge on Stone after the last game against Vegas. Glad we sunk him to the deep. Yes, very, very good.
Yeah, I tried to find that little clip of them talking to each other, and then I just searched Tanev Stone on Twitter real quick, and the top thing that came up was a video I took from last game where they were chirping at each other on the opposing benches. So I remembered that.
There we go. Knucklehead, awesome. Can't get coverage in my country, but I was following this on the app. Go Kraken. Awesome. Hey, let us know where you're from. We got
Yeah.
lots of international fans in here. Love to see it. Let's see. Shane Wright Development Road show for the next few weeks will be good for him and the Kraken in the long run. I agree.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shane looks like a different player when he comes back from the AHL and Team Canada. Yeah,
That
it's gonna
confidence is
be a
going to
lot
go
of
such a
fun.
long way.
It really is. Need some dance party confetti, please. I know, Team Spindles. We can't get the confetti at the stream yard. Ah,
I
still,
know.
still bugging me. Knucklehead tuning in from Australia. Okay, so we've got
Oh, nice.
other Australians that join us sometimes. Aaron,
Yeah.
one of the Aarons, yeah,
Yep.
from
No, I think he's
Australia.
in here tonight too. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us all the way from Australia. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
love it. Good no, not good morning. Good afternoon,
Yeah, well,
evening.
let's see. I mean,
It's usually
I
what it
guess
is.
does it depend on where in Australia too? Could it be like Sydney or
Yeah, that's
Perth or
true.
where are you? Yeah, but
Um, yeah, good stuff there. Uh, yeah, the Dallas updates there. Let me update where that game's at. Okay, so Winnipeg won in overtime. So Dallas picked up 1 point. It's all right.
okay,
Uh,
yeah, okay. So it's 12:31 p.m. in Perth. So good afternoon to you in
there
Australia.
we go.
I think that just about covers everything.
Yeah, good job there. If anybody wants more hockey, the Seattle Thunderbirds are playing against their rival Winter Hawks, as Emmy Chan's pointing out there. Um,
Hmm.
yes, I guess I could pull that one up and see how that's going. But
Yeah.
go Winter Hawks.
Schultz here.
Sorry.
I'm from Australia too. I heart radio 93.3 KJR. And Aaron, I'm from Sydney. Awesome. We got three
There we
Australians in
go.
here.
Three
How cool is
Australians.
that?
That's pretty dope, actually. Really love to see it. Um, let's see. Berkey, 8 points in his last 6 games. Add 2 more goals to that in 7 games. He's been on fire. He's been playing lights out. Still feel like we need to get Wenberg going a little bit. Like he kind of feels like the only guy who's been kind of left out of all the like resurgences of guys, right? Like Bjorkstrand finally gets the goal again. Feel like Eberle's been hot now. Bjorkstrand, Burakovsky gets going again. I feel like Wenberg's kind of that last guy. Maddie finally got going again. I feel like Wenberg's that last guy, and he's due. He's due. Watch for Wenberg to get something going the next game.
Yeah, he is. And I'm looking at his point. Like he hasn't been picking up points on these, but he's been around it. He's been part of it. I think he is due.
Yeah. Looks
And
like
then
it's it. Go
we've
for it.
sorry, we just got people checking in from every like Vic2, I'm French and I love this Vegas, but we played badly tonight. And
Wasn't
Brian
the,
with the Jean suis désolé, Vic2.
yep. It
Yeah.
wasn't their best effort, that's for sure. From Vegas, we've seen them look a lot more dangerous than in the past, but I'm still happy we got the win over you. Sorry, gotta celebrate this one. We definitely needed it. That Portland Seattle game, it's 1-0 Seattle. Seattle with the shot advantage as they near the end of the second period of 20-6.
Wow. That Thunderbirds
So
team is stacked this year.
they're going for it. It's going to be a fun team to
I'm gonna
follow
enjoy
as the
going to some
season goes.
playoff games this year for
Yeah,
them.
that's going to be good. I'll have to try to get up there and go to my first WHL game.
Amazing. Given that you're
Scouted
a
for that league
WHL
for
scout.
5 years, never went to an actual game. Um, Jay, I feel like this win was a monkey off our back. Next up, we need to beat the Canucks to feel like we can just own the conference. Agreed. We need to get something going against the Canucks, and then just I want to get a dub against Anaheim too, just to shake
Yeah.
off that beginning of the year kind of. It was a rough game.
Talk about going out of order when the Canucks are the final boss.
We've blazed our own trail, okay?
Yeah.
And you know what? All that matters is we've gotten to this point where we've only got a final boss. That's the things that matters. Kraken make me want to go to a local Americans game. You should, DJ Singleton. Should go check it out. WHL is
Yeah.
fantastic. It's so much fun. Ty Dylan, are you going to Anaheim and LA? Yes, going to Anaheim and LA should be a good time. Make sure to, I'll be in the Discord on Twitter, all that good stuff from down there. Should be fun. And then lots of go T-Birds, go Silvertip stuff in here. Good night, Pablo. See that? And then Sean, Seattle T-Birds have traded away like every draft pick for the next 3 years, right? Yeah, just about.
That's how you know it's going to be a great season this year.
Yes.
They're going for it all in. That's how junior hockey works.
Yep. And then Joshua checking in from Louisiana. See that one up there too. So
Nice.
so joining Maderos down there. Awesome. And then Tammy let us know broke 120 in chat. I know chat's been these streams have been going off, everybody. Thank you so much, because I know a lot of that has also just been from all of you getting the word out, telling friends, telling family. Really, really appreciate that. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, it does. And just again, the more the merrier in here. We appreciate it. Seeing these numbers this season after last season, like the jump, it's incredible.
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot, Dylan and I do, about how lucky we are to have so many people in these.
Right. And it was something that we talked about. We knew, like, if this team could just kind of figure it out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the Kraken could just figure it out. We knew that the Seattle market is fantastic, and we know that you know what I mean? Like people will show up for it, and people will get into the sport once the team is a little bit better. All that kind of stuff will pick up new fans, everything, because it's it's not just the excitement about us; it's also the excitement about the Kraken getting more and more fans, and all the places. Queen Anne Beer Hall, shout out to the sponsor, right? More and more people going there to watch games and everything. Like, I just love the thing for me that's so great about sports is the community aspect of it, and all that good stuff that we kind of talked about with Maderos during that release, the fans that we put out earlier this week, the podcast on YouTube. And it's just so special. And I love that so much of that has grown everywhere around this team this year. It's so cool.
Yep. And with Queen Anne Beer Hall, chance to see you guys in person. Hopefully soon. We'll have an announcement very soon for early December. Keep your eyes out. We got something cool in the works.
Yep. And then, yes, Jay, you yelling at people like the stream for sure. Definitely appreciate that. Michael down in Florida, let's go. Know some other people from Florida in here as well. Jeff, Dylan, have you been to a Kraken game here in Seattle? Yes, I've been to, I believe, 5 Kraken games up in Seattle now. Last season. I haven't been to one this year yet. I was up there last in July for Dev Camp. I think that was the last time I was up there. But again, talking about things not early December, but also announcements we could make soon about my next trip up there as well. So just about to wait a little bit longer, and then should have an epic announcement tomorrow.
Right? Yes, epic announcement, maybe merch related.
Yeah, yes. It's going to be absolutely huge. So please pay attention to all the social feeds and stuff from us tomorrow, because that one's going to be big. Big. And yes, Brian pointing out all us East Coasters loving that 8 p.m. Eastern starts for sure. And Tina letting us know Grubauer did get the Davy Jones hat. I don't know if that was shared either yet, Tina, if I missed it in chat, but thank you for posting it there so we can
thank you, Tina. Well deserved.
That. Yeah, Lindsay here with the quote, "Besides my dog, this is the best birthday gift I've ever gotten. Grew on the 2 points when he got the Davy Jones hat." Oh, gonna make me cry. I'm too tired from being live for 4 hours or whatever. 3.5 hours.
Can't handle this.
Sweet. Jeff, yeah, sweet navy blue ECH hoodie would be fantastic. Go for it. Just wait though. Like, just wait till tomorrow, everybody. Just wait. Trust us. Wings claim Hellberg. He wasn't even a backup tonight. It's almost criminal. I know.
Yeah, they had 2 healthy goalies already, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure what they're doing there.
Yeah. And Leanne down in Georgia. Awesome. Love when everybody does like the roll call from where everybody's at.
Yes,
I
I love
love to
we
see
have
it.
our own, like, ECH World
Like
Cup
a
here in the
little, yeah,
comments.
little like roster we've got. But I think we're gonna call it as we're here at the hour mark. Me and RJ can go take a breather after everything in this one. Still, I love these nights where we, get the epic win over a rival. Can we call them a rival now? We beat them.
Yeah, no, you know what? The rivalry can't start until both teams have a win, and guess what? Both teams have a win. I think
Let's
we can,
go.
yeah, kickstart this rivalry here.
Yes, let's go. Okay, so we get to say we got a win over a rival now in Vegas, pick up our first ever win against them. Grubauer is back, and he is back. Like, that's a big deal. It's not like he just showed up. Like, he's actually back, made some big saves in this one on his birthday. Once again, happy birthday to him. Just a fantastic time. Had so much fun with all the patrons over on the live game commentary. Thanks so much for joining us there and supporting us via that platform. We really appreciate it. And again, shout out to Queen Anne Beer Hall for the support as well.
Oh, yeah.
Much greatly appreciated there.
Yep.
All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for this one. Well, I guess RJ will catch you for the start of the next one.
Yep.
Next post game live, and then I'll tune in from Anaheim on Sunday. Should be fun. Looking forward to seeing the Kraken again in person. Really
Mhm.
always exciting when I get to do that. Yeah, so we'll see you all on Sunday, everybody. Have a good rest of your night.